Good morning. This is the 60 Seconds to Serenity, and I'm Gregg Hammond. Today's broadcast is Sunday, December 3rd, 2017. I'm hopping on a little bit later than usual. On this Sunday, I got a call this morning from my sister that our dad is having a little bit of, had some food that wasn't sitting right with him last night, so he's recuperating. But they are on a journey together, traveling, and so that's a rough time to have to go through that. So we were talking this morning. If you feel moved to send some healing energy or some prayers, we would appreciate that. That's for my dad, that his stomach settles and he's back to feeling great, ready to eat some more food. And anybody who's been through that knows it takes a little bit of time to bounce back. So for the 60 Seconds to Serenity, we're coming into the foundation that I've established here over the last 40 days with our 40-day foundation of using the breath and tying that together, using the breath, slow, gentle breath. You're focusing focusing on a slow, relaxed breath, like a wave coming in on the beach, down on a nice, warm island where the waves come in slowly and just stretch across the sand and then flow back out. You're focusing on having that be the way that your breath comes in and out of your body, in and out of your lungs, and you're doing that with mentally, using your mental faculties of thinking about things that you're grateful for, things that you've experienced. I use a couple of times of playing music because I love playing music, playing guitar, and I've performed on some big stages. Those experiences were amazing, so I think about that highlight of how I felt. I use that to tie in with my breath, and by using the 60 Seconds to Serenity tools, it makes it so easy to respond to things going on. An example of something that you might respond to in your day is one of these parking tickets that they put on your windshield when they don't like the way that you've parked for whatever reason, extended time or whatever. So it's a violation. A lot of times people see this and then they react with thoughts or emotions. Might say something. Sometimes you say things you don't want to say. Sometimes you say things that you do want to say at that time because you're reacting. But if you respond, you take control, you keep a calm mind through 60 Seconds to Serenity tools, where you're focusing your breath and just taking 60 seconds of time. That small window of time can stretch out, and during that 60 seconds you think of things that are very empowering for you, and you think of things that you're grateful for. You can, as we've been doing over the past 5 weeks, we've talked about making a list. I do 10 things per day. I use my non-dominant hand, which is part of the exercise that we've been working on. I list out things that I'm grateful for. And they can be experiences, they can be people that I'm grateful for. I like to do a list of authors that I'm grateful for. So I use these things things, people, places, experiences that I'm grateful for, and I use those to zero in quickly and take myself to this very high vibration of happiness and joy, feeling good while I'm doing the breathing exercise. And the reason that I'm tying that together with the breathing of calm, gentle breath in, like the waves on the beach, the reason I'm tying these together is because you're always breathing. And eventually you don't have to focus to take the 60 seconds because it just becomes part of your routine. And we're working on establishing empowering statements and empowering thoughts and weeding out and removing disempowering statements. because disempowering statements are, they are taught to us, whether we're thinking about getting an education on disempowering thoughts or not, whether we realize that or not, it happens all the time. You'll see it, especially with our social media. You can see tons of that, but in our peer groups, in social settings, in workplaces, and in the public, excuse me, in the public spaces that we, you're going through the grocery line, the bank, those places where people are repeating disempowering statements, and those end up as part of what you may end up thinking, unless you've used tools like 60 seconds to Serenity, breathing, tying it in with raising your vibration. As we weed out disempowering thoughts and we bring in empowering thoughts like, I am healthy, I am happy, I live in paradise. And I say this, I live in paradise. The reason I say that is because everywhere you go becomes paradise. When you're using these tools to keep yourself in a calm mind by shifting 60 seconds to a calm mind, because a calm mind is a superpower. That's one of these great things that you can harness and create, is the calm mind. And you have probably experienced people who don't have the calm mind, who get upset. Everything upsets them, and you may, if you do some tracking, and I recommend that you do tracking on yourself and write down notes and observe the way that you feel when things happen, and see if you're reacting or responding. If you track yourself, that's a great thing. But you can track other people, you can track situations going on through the news, but I don't recommend you spend very much time watching the news, because that'll put you into a lower vibration, because most of the stuff in the news is not the happiest. I have good news for you. Your life just got a whole lot easier, right? If you use these tools for the 60 seconds to Serenity, your life will get better and better, and it'll change just like that. So as this stuff's coming in, you may want to react to it, but the goal is to be able to respond and keep the calm mind. And many times you've seen people who get really upset. I was in the bank, the line at the bank, and I waved. I had been in there the day before, actually, and they said, well, they asked me what I needed help with, and I was telling them I'm closing 2 accounts that I don't need. And that little bit of information, usually they're like, oh great, we're losing a customer. And so that can be, the energy there can be difficult. And there was somebody who was waiting, and I did my breathing, my 60 seconds to Serenity, and was saying to myself, I always get amazing service. They love helping me everywhere I go. And I mean, it's not like I just started that, but I was using that, right? I was using something that I've been saying as an affirmation. And the manager said, you know what, let's go ahead and take you in right now. And had me come in front of other people, get in there. There were charges on my accounts that were extra. And, low power. I see my battery is low, so I'll be quick. I'll finish this up. So to make the story short, they refunded all of the charges. Like, you know what, we can just refund those for you, sir, and close out all your accounts that you want to close. They took care of all that. I was done in about 12 minutes. Paperwork signed, out the door. I went back the next day, and I waved. There was a long line. There were people in line, and they were standing there with the body language of I'm not happy. And a couple people began to say how they weren't happy. I waved over to the manager, and I said, hey, look, I baked some cookies for all of you. I really appreciate the great service. Gave those cookies to them. She said, sir, nobody's ever told us that or said thank you or wow, what an amazing thing. And it occurred to me, oh, I guess nobody else has done that, but it was that was my gesture to say thank you to them. And then different manager who didn't even know what situation had happened came over and went through the line asking people what they needed, and there were people complaining and saying, can't you get more people, more tellers, and and they were complaining. And as he came through and asked me what I needed, and I told him, he said, well, sir, I'll just take you over here. And I went to the front of the line again. He didn't know. He wasn't there. He didn't know from the other day. So it's part of the high vibration and affirmations tied with the breathing that I'm explaining here and helping you create the habit by being on here every single day to share some of this. And today is actually the last Sunday that I'll be on. I will be going just Monday through Friday with 60 Seconds to Serenity in the mornings there, and the weekends will be the days that you can come back and review. I may hop on just for the heck of it, but I'm going to shift my schedule a little bit because I've done the 40-day foundation, and I know that that's enough. If you go back and watch those videos, you'll see plenty of stuff. So the positive affirmations, writing some out, right? And then write out, very powerful thing for you to do is to write out the 6 things that you have to get done for the day. And write those out the night before if you can do that. Write out 10 things you're grateful for. And if 10 things is difficult and challenging, and I recommend you use the same notebook, just write 3 things. And then daily affirmations, very strong things about your health, right? Your health is your greatest wealth, so you want to empower it. And I love this. It's by John Assaraf, and he is an amazing brain teacher, talking about the science of the brain and your thoughts. And I share stuff from lots of teachers because I've studied for several decades now of different teachers, and finally put all of this together, and it works so well, and I'm extremely grateful for my life and how amazing it is. And that's why I'm doing these 60 Seconds to Serenity and sharing these with everybody. Is I want to be able to give back. Speaking of giving back, if you want one of these stickers or a refrigerator magnet, please send me a message with your information and I will mail that out to you. So we've had some generous donors and sponsors, and they've made it possible for me to mail these out to you. The daily affirmation, right? That is my daily affirmation of health. My body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It knows how to heal me. Its wisdom created all my organs, tissues, bones, and muscles. This infinite healing presence within me is now transforming every atom of my being, making me whole and perfect. I give thanks for the healing I know is taking place now. Wonderful are the works of the creative intelligence within me. I am now perfectly healthy. There's that. Fantastic. And I see so many nice comments going in there. Thank you so much. I love it when people write in comments about how it's working for them or things that they're sharing just in general that are right along the same lines as what we're talking about, what I'm sharing here. Here's the non-dominant hand exercise. I've done this with my left hand, which I've practiced a long time. I've done it for a long time. So this exercise, my handwriting is the same almost on both hands. Sometimes the non-dominant hand is even better. So I write my name, I write the day, the month, the day on the calendar, the number on the calendar, the 3rd, and then the year. I write out time of the sunrise, sunset, temperature outside, wind direction. I write all these things. They're just to do a little bit of tracking. The idea is you are doing some tracking there, and you're also using a non-dominant hand. You're not writing out something that's very long, and so it's something you can accomplish. You can do that at least once a day, and maybe twice. And all of this makes you better, and you become the change that you want to see in the world by changing yourself, watching less of the negative news, television, and things like that, and working on helping yourself become the person that you want to become. And if you keep smiling, it's one of the most powerful things that you can share, and it's absolutely free. I just got my book, the first version. I'm doing 4 of these books with my friend and co-author Ken Rashawn. He's amazing, and we're doing this with Barry Shore, who is the founder of Keep Smiling, And amazing leaders are in the book, holding up our Keep Smiling card, and it features information about them, a powerful quote from them, and my story about music and the power of smiling is in there. This is on Amazon. Great gift. I also am willing to, if somebody would like to be a sponsor of this, you can sponsor and put an advertisement in the back, a promotion for your own business, that if it aligns with smiling and music, these things that I'm talking about and do in my life, you can put it in my book. I can add that in to the new printings that go out because of the way it works with printing in Amazon nowadays. I can add in your information if you would like your something in the back, and we can talk about that. Just send me a message. And I always like to recommend a book. And Bob Proctor's It's Not About the Money, right? Because it's not. It's about empowering yourself, empowering others, sharing the love. That's one of the reasons I do the free guitar lessons, and I do this 60 Seconds to Serenity educational sharing in the morning, is because I want to give, I want to share. I want the world to be better, and I know that I have the power to do it just like you do. As long as you work on yourself, you will help create that. I have shared this before. I just happen to have it with me right here. It's my gratitude stone, flat stone. It's smooth on one side, rough on the other. And that's like reacting and responding, right? If you respond, life stays smooth. And you know people who are always upset. You know, I was talking about like in the bank, that 2 or 3 people in there, they probably go through their entire day telling people just how bad it was and how these people made it worse for them and how they're having to deal with this thing and they're having to deal with that thing. And the truth is that everywhere that they go, the consistent thing is that they are there. And when I realized that about myself, it was was not happy about that. I did not want to say, well, then it is all something that I have control over. But I did admit it, and when I did that, I empowered myself by saying, I can focus and take control and take charge of the way that I respond to things. So the rough side of this stone is if I react, if I get mad, as soon as I see the parking ticket, if I start shouting and saying, I don't deserve that, or, you know, why does this always happen to me? Instead, if I say, oh, congratulations to me, I've received this, that means that I trust in a power higher than myself, which you can say that any way that you want to say that power that you understand. I can say, hey, that means that the money is coming to me and more, and so I don't have to worry about that. It's just that I happen to see the ticket there, so congratulations to me because even more is coming to me. When I locked into understanding how that worked, it was a miracle. And then, you know, tons and tons of teachers explain that. That's what they're trying to explain. So on this stone, it's my gratitude stone. It's smooth on one side, rough on the other. Smooth side is responding, rough side is reacting. Put that in my hands, and I look at my gratitude list, and I'm reading through here that on my gratitude list is Bob Proctor, Sandy Gallagher, 2 of my favorite teachers I love very much. Have totally empowered me and changed my life, and many other people. And then chimes. I like chimes, I like bells, I like music, I like anything that is musical. And gold card is on mine. Red rubber balls, right? I like the kind of ball that you can kick out in a field. Kids love those. You can buy those. I write on my on the red rubber ball, I write a peace sign, and I'll gift that to my neighbors or the kids in the neighborhood. Put it on the playground. Just leave it out there, you know. Just throw one out there with a peace sign, just so that I'm sharing that. It's a fun way to give back. I don't have to see who gets that gift. A lot of times, just an anonymous gift going to somebody is very, very empowering for them and for you to think, you know, the giving factor. Strong quotes strong quotes and wise quotes are on my gratitude list. The rose petal gratitude ceremony. I love doing that. I will do some broadcasts as I do that live in the future. Anyway, have a fantastic Sunday. I got to hop off of here. I know the battery on this device will go off. Peace, love, music to everyone. Listen to some music on your Sunday. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.